Good afternoon on what is a bright, clear but chilly day. It is Thursday the 10th of February. I'm back in the reading nook with a cat who is not ours and a nice hot cup of tea. And of course I've got some boxes to unbox now. And the next one I'm going to dig into is this heavy box. And I've already pulled a couple of things out of it. So let's dig in further to it. So all our little bits and pieces for John Carter of Mars, including the dice and the landscape and location deck and the character and token deck, very quite nicely done. And below that I found this. You just pull it out, very heavy. I want to be careful because I don't want to drop it on the cat because, you know, that would be cruel. So the first thing I pulled out of this was Dishonored, so looked at that last time. And the next thing I'm going to pull out is Mutant Chronicles, the third edition, the Cartel Sourcebook. Now, Mutant Chronicles is it's another Swedish role-playing game. It originated in the early 90s. It's essentially a techno-fantasy role-playing game set in our solar system where great corporations have set up and colonized the various planets of the inner solar system and terraformed them, made them livable, so the moon and Mars and Venus and so on are habitable. But in exploring the outer reaches of the solar system, they unleash a necrotic horde of undead and other creatures, and it can be best sort of described as the Sweden's answer to Warhammer Warhammer 40k in a sense, because it's got that, you know, big guns, big armor with big shoulder pads kind of look in common. And in some ways, it's actually as a role-playing game, it's much more. It used to be much more accessible because there was no role-playing game for Warhammer 40k. Anyway. This is the Cartel Sourcebook, one of the factions in the game, which you can play if you look for the parts and you go back over the history. You can find the parts to play this as a war game or a role-playing game. There was a version previously available in the English-speaking market, then a second edition which wasn't, and then a third edition which is from Modiphius Entertainment and uses the 2D20 system. In a world, for we are many, in a world of discord where man fights man despite the looming darkness, corporations zealously usurp each other and leave humanity an easy target of the Dark Legion. Those are the forces I referred to earlier. But one group stands up and waves the flag of unity among men. It's the last bastion capable of uniting the forces of mankind in full. These powerful men and women call themselves the Cartel. History. Immerse yourself in the history of the origins of the Cartel. Discover the past that sets the foundation for success against the impossible present. Freelancers. The freelancers walk the edge of the law, but without them, Society Mutant Chronicles would not work. Learn some of the secrets of the success of the Freelancing Independent Corporations Committee within the Cartel. Structure. Learn how this well-oiled machine that oversees corporations and the solar system is put together. See how this behemoth of juxtaposes voices delivers on the promises of a better future. Underbelly. Even the Cartel has a seamy underside. Power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Behind the red tape, beneath the democratic voices and good intentions, something nefarious moves. So inside we have a possible investigation site and a site of Lunar City on the moon, which is the main base. It's in the role-playing game. It's the core sort of base for operations for all the characters before they go out and explore. It's the starting point. So I've got in times we have table of contents. And we begin to get into the history of the cartel's founding. And we've got basically a cover piece, rejected cover piece perhaps, sort of looking at some of the secrets of the cartel there. So uncovering the secrets, and then we've got notes here. Interesting, essentially this is done sort of like as a magazine piece or something like that, and you've got editor's notes there, and that's a nice touch, giving a little bit of verisimilitude. And then we've got it in operation. I mean, essentially, think of the cartel sort of kind of the equivalent of the United Nations in the setting. I mean, from what I remember, because it's been a while since I have looked at Mutant Chronicles, I've always wanted to get back into sort of like reviewing it and talking about it, just not have the chance because I haven't had access to the books. Modiphius had a sale, so I grabbed all the ones that I was missing, and I'm going to go back and dig into these and give these proper reviews that they deserve. So we've got new careers like the Bureau of Internal Investigation careers, delegation careers. So we've got a member of the cartel investigator, member of the police, corporate lobbyist. So new options there for characters within the cartel, which you can bring into your game. And we have iconic careers, and then typical characters like the cleaner, obviously inspired by Victor from the film La Femme Nikita, which people may remember that from the early 90s. It's a terrific Luc Besson thriller, and the cleaner is played by Jean Reno. We have the FLEEC, with the Freelancing Independent Corporations Committee, or FLEEC, not the cops, not the FLEEC, which would be quite interesting if it was, but isn't. And it's looking here, we've got sort of like discussion of independent corporations within the cartel, because it's not made up of a lot of the other corporations are monolithic. Here it's not so much. But, from impressions, again, more details on each of the corporations, and again you can bring all that kind of disparate nature, the different factions always can bring into play. Then we've got another NPC. And then running your own corp. It's interesting that you could actually set up your own corporation within the cartel and operate together, and that would put a different spin upon a campaign. You could actually write a whole campaign segment about that, I'm sure. So we've got details about hiring and firing, allies and assistants, retainers, services, what you do. That would be really kind of fun. That's a completely different campaign setup to what you normally do in Mutant Chronicles. And then we've got stats for them, standard workers and labourers, security guards and so on. And then we get into the rot, which presumably is, here we get into the secrets of what's behind the cartel, just what's going on. We've got Foucault's pendulum, the secret societies within the cartel. And some of the more background. There's basically a lot of details in here. I think it's a relatively slim supplement, but you are getting a lot of background information, including right down to some of the secrets, the Grail. So there's legends within, deeper and deeper within here, and we've got more NPCs. And then, brilliant. Grand Theft Automat. I hate to think what that's about, but it's a fantastic pun or play on words. And we have sample Doom Troopers. And the thing is, this is sort of like the cartel is sort of like the British the Doom Troopers are the big war, the equivalent of the. I say it's the equivalent of the Space Marines in this setting. They are the big troubleshooters, the stalwart fighters or warriors, and we get into things like criminal activities. So you're getting deeper and deeper and layering layer upon layer of these secrets within the cartel. And then equipment, which isn't illustrated, which is a bit disappointing, but there we go. I've got some illustrations here, but they're not very good. So you've got new vehicles, because always you want new equipment, and you can always use the equipment for enemy factions, of course, dealing with the cartel. And then we have the free charters, which is another aspect of the cartel. So yeah, sorry, orbitals and free charters. Sorry, fingers are getting cold out here. As I say, it's a chilly day. And then again, more secrets. Kremlin, Deep KOA, Cartel, B11 Special Agent, another NPC, which doubtless the player characters do not want to encounter. And then we really with the orbitals, what it means we're dealing with a different environment and fighting in that environment. So we've got rules for things like boarding, so on, and then we get into graveyard technology. That sounds interesting. We'll find out what that is when we do the proper review. Graveyard tech, well, as I say, essentially, depending on how the GM would like to run the rec stream battlefields, there may be no possibility of uncovering lost technologies. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. Basically, you've got a big battlefield of orbiting debris which you could raid. So here we go. Here's the rules on handling boarding actions, and moratory. And this reveals the origins of the first Doom Trooper unit ever assembled. So that's even deeper background, so lots of background, and that's an adventure which you can run as part of the sourcebook. So yeah, that is the Cartel sourcebook for Mutant Chronicles. Published by Modiphius Entertainment, using the 2D20 system. If you've enjoyed this unboxing the Nook, then please do click on the like button down below. If you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post them. And of course, if you would like to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a box and a book or game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a cat who is not ours. He's just coming awake here. Oh, careful. So yeah, here we go. Cat is not ours, and of course a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do hit that subscribe button. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will be back again with another unboxing look soon. Bye for now.